Le Canadien, le Canadien, les habitants, le tricolore, le bleu, blanc, rouge, le coach, and you with me ce soir, tonight, at the Hockey Red Light Show with the hockey coach, Coach Frenchy, directly for the beautiful country of Thailand on amazing great Sunday night, January 11, 2026. Hopefully an amazing great weekend. If you like me, I did a football game a couple of hours ago, or maybe a couple of minutes ago. But ready to rock and roll with the red lights. I love the Sunday night. It's night to, to talk about the Montreal Canadiens, what happenings on the week, and what's coming for the Montreal Canadiens, and talking about fun guests we got tonight. The full house is in the house tonight, so I can wait to see both of them. But I want to remind everybody, we will be back tomorrow night, 7:30 tomorrow night, talking about the Montreal Canadiens, because it's a game. Again, the Vancouver Canucks. Again, Detroit. I was excited, the vibes of the game. But now I'm terrified. I'm scared. I'm worried about the Vancouver Canucks. Why? Because they lost 6 games. Somehow they're going to win at some point. And hopefully it's not going to be tomorrow night. We cannot lose tomorrow night. It's a must win for the Montreal Canadiens. And I'm concerned and worried. So you have to tell me tonight to not be worried about that, coach, so I can sleep. If not, I'm not going to sleep. So you have to tell me, calm down, coach, it'll be fine. So we'll see. The next day we play the Washington Tuesday night. And Montreal are going to be on the road trip. So we're going to talk about this a bit later. But before that, tonight, I want to talk about the missing some piece in the puzzle. And I'm going to go through this. About what is missing, what you need to do, and what's the future the next 3 years for the Montreal Canadiens. That said, the show normally, guys, I prepared it all the time. 2 hours, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours. But because I was at 3 o'clock awake for the game, the football, I'm behind. So I picked up a couple of things, but it's not perfect. But anyway, I'm sure we're going to be fine at the end of the night with a clash at the end of the show. And without the red light show tonight, we have to welcome him back. He's directly from Toronto. Maybe he's stuck in the snow, who knows? And he's out of the Toronto Maple Leaf jersey anyway. And he is back with us for another week. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Inartap is in the house tonight.
Hello, Coach. Hello, Hockey Nation. It's been a while, Coach. Montreal's been playing some Sunday night games, and we haven't had the pleasure of being together for a while.
This is the first time in 2026?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, because we had a Monday night, and that was about it, really. They had a couple games on a Sunday, but we're here tonight. We're ready.
I think it is, right? So
I think welcome. So, yeah.
Okay, glad to see you around with us.
But I'm here to tell you, Coach, you can get some rest. I can guarantee you, Montreal will be ready for Vancouver.
Hopefully you'll be ready. This is game going to be really. They cannot lose. Honestly, they cannot lose.
I know. Yeah.
This is a must win. Right. Because the next three will be very difficult, but not difficult, but not be easy for them, but definitely. Before we go through the headlines, we have to talk. We're going to welcome everybody. Thanks, everybody, to be with us. We have Ovizio. Welcome back, Ovizio. Rob, welcome. Thanks to be with us. Mr. Billy from Nova Scotia is on the house. And the man knocked the door. Dan Asham with Colette is with us. Larry Lavallée from Green Valley is in the house. Roger Bouchard, directly from the Vermont is with us, notre ami Roger. And then we have also, try to pick up everybody. PS knocked it out. PS was with us at the football game. PLW back again. Tonight is going with what? Bet of the night, Justin Herbert to Russia for a touchdown, 6X. Good show. All the things. PL, have a great dinner tonight, Mr. Nartap. And
what did you have?
He's filled right now with, he said the fridge is full up again. So we'll see when he's going to open up all of them. But he's filled up all the fridge. We'll see what happens. Eminem from British Columbia is out. Claude Richard from Ottawa is in the house. And then, can Winnipeg Jet make the World Cup this year? And after that.
Oh, my goodness. It's a real mess in Winnipeg right now. You have a Cheveldayoff that really took a stab at bringing in some experienced players over the summer, and that project has not worked out well for them. Basically, they got rid of Ehlers, who was part of their secondary scoring wave, and they haven't replaced them. You couple that with the fact that Perfetti was injured for quite a while, and ever since he's been back, he hasn't been at the top of his game. Hellebuck got hurt, and that hurt them, and he hasn't been 100% either. The defense is still struggling. It's not a good situation right now in Winnipeg.
You're right about that. I agree with you. And then, Jonathan Tays and everybody sees, I think also Hellebuck does not have the same
Yeah.
season like he is before, right? So injury too, he got that one. RJ Calaboys and Dallas, welcome back. RJ, thanks a lot for all the confirmation you got in the chat. I appreciate a lot. Every time that helped me a lot. RJ, I don't have to switch on my computer to watching all the different thing about that. I appreciate a lot. PS with us, Roger and our tap, Rob, Dan, Ovidio, Henry, welcome back. Henry, thanks to be Darrell knocked the door. Yeah, about stop at the 1 yard line. About that, close the show. Don't forget everybody to click on the like. We appreciate a lot. If you have any question, this is the show. You can do that. We don't come a lot now like it was before. Before we do this because I'm oriented to do more live stream on different sport like the football afternoon. So we take advantage of what we got for you for the Montreal Canadiens. So we have any question, I think we are pretty much update about what's going on around Montreal in NHL, prospect, whatever you want to talk. Please ask question. If you don't know, we'll let you know. We'll tell you, we don't know. Let me check. I'm going to figure out something else, and we're going to helping you. But this is the way we do that here at the Hockey Nation, and that's pretty much it. Mr. Arthur, we're going to start with the headlines of the show we got tonight. And I think this is very simple. I did not know exactly what you tried to do, but I know the title, but I did not know the picture. So I go with that one, Mr. Arthur. Martin St. Louis.
Right, absolutely. And I called it the game within the game. And I apologize ahead of time if it's going to be repetitive later on when we do talk about last night's game, but it's more a reflection of some of the things we saw yesterday that were a bit concerning and an area where we need to improve in. And when I say the game within the game, I'm talking about being a little bit more flexible within periods and coming up with a game plan that you need to change on the fly. And right now, we're not quite seeing it from Marty St. Louis. Now, what we saw yesterday, even though, kudos to Detroit for putting up coming in with a great game plan. If you wanted to win this game against Detroit, a few things had to come into play. One of them was you needed somebody to sort of take away the eyes of Gibson. I thought that Gibson yesterday was huge for Detroit. He got to see every puck, though, that came his way. There wasn't much traffic in front of the net, not much deflections or ability to get rebounds. So that was taken care of by Detroit. I thought that even though they started off okay, I thought that they really had to jump ahead of the game right from the beginning and sort of dictate the pace of the game. And Montreal did not do that. I know it was 0-0 at the end of the first, but what happened in that first, we had some penalties. We had some missed opportunities where we did not execute well. And those kind of things come back to you in the game, especially when you're playing against, a team that's well balanced, like Detroit is, and somebody that's battling neck to neck with you. The other thing was we had to stay out of the penalty box, and we did not do that either. So there was a bit of, the discipline aspect of the game that we had to be more careful of. And Detroit did their job. Their job was pretty much clog up the zone, the neutral zone, via trap, and force everything along the sides, right? And in doing that, what it does is it really takes the speed away and the transition game away from the opposition. So if you look at it carefully, coach, our highly skilled players that usually bring it were not able to because they weren't given the time and space to sort of get things started. And I'm talking about guys like, Hudson and Caulfield and Suzuki and Tessier and even Slafkovsky yesterday. Like pretty much they weren't there. And if you stopped that yesterday, they stopped even Demidov, like nothing there. You stopped that second line and you took away Slafkovsky from doing anything really. And it sort of handcuffed you the entire way because now where are you going to get your scoring from? And we saw that. Montreal, Detroit gives up a lot of high danger zone shots, and Montreal really did, did not have that opportunity to take advantage of it. And the few moments or the few opportunities where they did have the opportunity to take a shot on net, they passed it when they were in a high danger zone, which, baffles the mind sometimes. I think they're trying to be very cute at times, and they should keep it as simple as possible. Put puck on the net, anything can happen, a deflection, anything of the sort, a rebound that comes out. It's important that you take advantage of those opportunities that are given to you. So, when you look at the overall picture, to me is okay. That happens in the first period. You now have to go into the second period as a coaching staff, and I'm not pointing just directly at Marty St. Louis, but the entire coaching staff. You have to look at it and say, okay, what adjustments do we need to make in order to change what we're seeing in front of us? And I just didn't see that in the game yesterday, and it's Marty's been very open with everybody, the media, the fans, to say, it's there's parts of his coaching game that he's learning as things go along, and this, proves it, right? He's got to be able to make adjustments on the on the run as things are happening. There wasn't much line juggling. I didn't think that could have possibly, maybe changed something. It was stick with your lines, and that was pretty much it. So when I say the game within the game, I think that's one area that Marty has to sort of bring up his game with.
Great comments about that. We have Mr. Evan is in the house. Welcome back. Pierre W. Of course, we have Gary Conway. Beep Beep is in the house. Kenneth, welcome back. KK, thanks to be with us. Then I answer your question. And then we have Standerman. We have Daryl pop up. Wait and Anthony. Randy Walkman knocked the door. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks again for all the questions. We're going to try to get everything. You have some comments about you headlines from Daryl. That's a good stuff right there. Wait and Anthony. And then Randy also adds something like that. And obviously, we'll talk about this. We have a question from Sanderman. With Dano on the team, whoops, sorry about that. I thought he was going to scroll down, but he did not. With the Dano on the team, the Habs are close the cap. I'm sure that when Liney Dak come back, the Habs would be over the cap. I imagine Liney would be trade anyone else, Senator.
That's very possible. We're not in the greatest situation salary cap wise. Obviously, something's going to have to give. I anticipate some moves via trade. I think a couple players might find themselves going back to Laval to accommodate for some of the returning players that were injured, and we'll see where that takes us in the end. But they're not going to stay status quo, in my opinion.
Yeah, but they're going to figure out what they have to do. New York will be out of they're going to be out of the on the ER, right? For them.
Yes.
If you look about this, I can check in again more, guys. What happening there? Montreal Canadiens, the cap right now is about what, $6 million, $5
million, yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
6 million. So I think they're going to make some change, but your player go back down. If you tell that now, take a note, guys. Sammy Blair is not exempt anymore. The current pay is 1.6 right now for the Montreal Canadiens, and that's including, guys. I'm going to give you everything. Lonnie is on ER. Kirby Dak on long term. Neil Hook is on ER. Evans is on long term. And then you have, that's it for that one. So what happening there? You're going to have, they have 7 defensemen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then they have 3 goaltenders. So they're going to drop 1 million there if one of the two. And then you're going to send back down. That would be another 1 million. They can save about $3 million right there on this one. So it'll be very interesting what they're going to do for lining. That'll be the key on that one for sure. And go from there. That's pretty much it.
Well, that's a big one, right, Coach? That's the big contract that's gonna. I think something's gonna have to happen with the trade with Line A personally, and I think that even though they don't like to do it, Hughes, they might have to take back some of the salary in order to accommodate some kind of trade.
Of course, Cash, glad to see you, my friend. Thanks to be with us. Kenneth said that they have a flat game last night. It's happened. PLW talk about Suzuki and Caulfield. The last one game, it's not there with that. That's why ice pace was too fast for Suzuki, who was very static yesterday, just waiting around the board for the pocket while not moving. Will not do with such a high-paced team. As one again, welcome back. Thanks to be with us. Lonnie Weaver from PS on this one. And we'll see what they're going to do, Rob. Montreal lost that game because of the face-off. How much time would the pocket change from the Montreal-Detroit within a bad penalty 2 on that one from last night?
That's
I
absolutely
suspect
right,
hockey trade coach for Randy Walkman on that one. Sorry about that in startup. The projected space is only 8,000 or not that much of the challenge. About that, I agree with you about this, BLW. No need to rush the injury back for them. Trade trouble will help for Kenneth. Lonnie forced to talk Robinson out of the dollars. Kenneth Beck was sent down to Laval for sure. M&M, I think they will go to the big move. I don't think they will flat yesterday. I think they will play a team they don't match up really well against. Francis Black can go to Laval before he play next game, order that he will have to be on the waiver. I don't want to relance you, Francis, but what I heard this weekend, before the game Saturday, it was his last game. Again, I don't say you're wrong. I just mentioned what I heard before the game Saturday. So if you're right, great. If I'm right, that's sad. But again, I don't want to argue with you who is right. I just said what I heard Saturday night. But again, you could be right, and we all agree on the way on the Samuel Blais if he play one more game for sure. To the have to bring another goalie, Randy, for Mr. Natap.
Yeah, well, that's another situation that they have to clarify. Like the one thing we know is that for sure they're not going to go 3 goaltender system. I think that they've learned that lesson from the past, and that's not their intention right now. I think that you can return either Dobesh or Fowler, but I really think that they might be showcasing Dobesh as much as it pains me to say that, but he's the one that would probably be in highest demand. Of course, it would be Fowler, but Fowler is not going to be touched, and we know that. So you're looking at between Monty and Dobesh, and I think the greater return comes with Dobesh, especially if you put him in a package with somebody. So we'll see what happens. I suspect that over the break, you might see both Fowler and Dobesh go down and continue to play because you don't want them to be stagnant without playing, and you want them to continue to be sharp. So you'll see both of them maybe go down until the break is over. So we'll see how this goes, but I suspect by the end of the month we should be seeing some kind of resolution to this whole situation.
By the way, for Patrick Laine, remember, guys, he has a clause on his contract, so it's not like easy to move everything on that. So we have to see what happens there. So
it's not easy to move, but right? If you make, if you make like, here's the thing. I personally don't think he's coming back next year, right? And not his choice. I think Montreal knows that they've reached the end of the line when it comes to Laine, simply because where does he fit into this lineup, especially with some of the prospects coming up? So your choices are one of two. You either let him ride the rest of the year and then you lose him for nothing. And I don't think Hughes is in the business of losing the assets for nothing. Or you try to make some kind of trade with a team where you have to retain some of the salary. Maybe you throw in a pick for another team to pick him up, and a team that needs a specialist on the power play that's going to the playoffs will probably bite. And yes, he does have a no move clause, but I think once the situation is spelled out, I think he knows that that's probably best for his own career the rest of the way.
Yeah, you're right about that. We're going to see what could happen for sure. This one for me, um, a team like Chicago could get Liney for the rest of the year, but I'm not sure if there would be possible about that. We have to wait, of course, on this situation. So let's go with mine. Mine is easy, guys. Nothing complicated. It's easy. Dano could make its fans until the end of the season. And the reason I said that, Dano, is because now he satisfied its fun situation for the Montreal Canadiens. First on the face-off on the left side. He is the best. He's the best on the face-off, by the way, on both sides. But I'll be honest with you, he satisfied that situation on the dots for the Montreal Canadiens. He's a left shooter. That said, he also helping the PK. Balance the PK without Jake Evans, Josh Anderson. Now Philippe Dano have more minutes, and when you're going to be back, both of them, you put Philippe Dano there. That would just satisfy the PK. We know the PK was with the departure of Dvorak and Armia et Savard. The PK dropped about 4 or 5% example, so that's not good. And I think that will be another sign right there. Also, he brings some depth on the center line. So now you have Suzuki, Kapanen, Dano, and Evans coming soon. That will satisfy that line over there. And that could make it fun for me from when he got traded with Montreal all the way to the end. Why? Because now Montreal can have a little bit more fun tools and not and not to thinking about only Villano. Why I think nothing against Villano, but I think you have a Dano with experience, leadership, a player been there before the playoff, everything. I think that's satisfied the young team from the Montreal Canadiens, like David Savard did in the past. And I think this is a great play, a great move for the Montreal Canadiens. The cost was not excessive to get Philippe Dano. And for me, he could be a trend maker and help and play with Gallagher, that helping a bit more Gallagher on that line. When everybody will be back, that's another subject for another time. But I think at that moment, for me, and after this, Philippe Dano could make the big, huge difference at the end of the season, until the end of the season.
Totally. You're totally right, Coach. And I mean, he brings that experience as well. He's very skilled at what he does. Unfortunately, his offensive skills have gone down a bit, but it's okay. I don't think they necessarily got him for scoring goals. They got him to stabilize the penalty kill, to stabilize winning faceoffs, as you said, and bring a little bit of experience, the voice to the team.
Yeah, you're absolutely about that for sure. For Laval, with please join the Olympic at Laval, I think Serge are gonna continue with Dobesh and Montebo as long as they can be good and make a deal with the Winnipeg just for lining. On that, pick it up, guys. The team have to accept Lanny with a contract. So at some point, the team have to be sure he fit inside of the salary cap. It's not like he can trade left and right. It will be right there. At least Hughes can come up with a solution to retain some of his contract last season event if he doesn't play anymore in Montreal. I see a trip for Budzik. Flame could take Lanny for a pick for that one. On this one, Anderson, important part of the going forward for Wade and Anthony. So that said, guys, that will be the headlines. I don't know where is Mr. And Luciano, but when you would pop up, it will be like here, and we're going to start to talking about Montreal. User, we can trade Lanny if we pay his salary, so remaining of the 50% now. I agree with you about that. It could be a possibility. I'm not sure they're going to get there, but I think it could be something they can do if they have to. For sure. Last game was a little bit bomb and the mad on the road is create a panic in Montreal Canadiens land about that. Andrew Dobbs has more wins que Montembeault et Fowler combined, but let's send Dobbs to Laval, everything like that. I think I'll be honest with you guys, and I could be wrong about Dobbs, but Montreal Canadiens right now, they want to figure out what Fowler can do with the team. They know exactly what Dobbs can bring to them, so they try to figure out if Fowler can handle this. Meanwhile, they want to see also Montembeault is not like a 2-game and that's it, and that's all he can bat. I think he are the most. Montembeault was really square, better control. It's not perfect, but compared to the beginning, he have a better improvement, everything like that. That said, I feel, and it could have a problem from the inside of Dobbs about his behavior with his mindset about the team. I could be wrong here, but this could be a problem I believe could happen about that. Hopefully, it's not. But his behavior after the game, when he lost the game and slash, everything like that, it's me, and not we. It may be not fit in the culture of Montreal Canadiens. Again, for me, I cannot confirm, but I only see from my eyes. Can they punish him because of that? I'm not sure. Is it there another plan? So you know what, we're going to use Montembeault and him because we know what what he can do for us, and we're going to bring him next week and everything like that. You have a game Vancouver Monday. You have a game Tuesday against Washington. Dobbs have to be 1 or 2 games, like that, because if not, this is going to be a very traumatic problem, or it would be like a message you want to pass to something. Dobbs have to be there Monday or Tuesday. What do you think?
You would think so, right? I mean, it's been 4 games now that he hasn't played, I believe, and you've got Monty and Fowler that have filled in the gaps here. Yeah, I would agree. I think he has to play in one of those. You can't, and that's why the 3 goalie system does not work well. I know that Marco has said in the past about maybe the NHL needing a 3 goalie system. I know that goalies are creatures of habit, and when it comes to their practice, their expectations of who's starting, who's not starting, it plays on their mind quite a bit. And the moment you disrupt that, you disrupt their rhythm that they're in. So yeah, I agree. I think he has to play one of the 2 games.
We'll see for sure about that. We have comments from A2. Welcome in the house. Dobbs Kakkonen and Laval can win the Calder Trophy there. The championship left for Montembeault figure out this year. That's my thought about the ménage à 3. Nice game and the first intermediate about this. Vive, welcome in the house. Thanks to be with us. Kakkonen probably better que Dobbs, Pierre Lebeau, Predator. 2-1, Cole Smith scored a goal. So, Gary, they are playing Montembeault to bring up his value to trade him to make room for Fowler. Maybe.
Possible.
I put out a poster today with Dobbs on it. Management are completely confused. Yeah, that was something you get out of that one for to promote N26. You're right about that. Dobbs may be in the net tomorrow. If it's not that, Dobbs going to Laval for sure. It's a goaltender tomorrow, guys. It's supposed to be a win tomorrow. So, we suppose that. When I said that, the team is not like Washington the next day, right? And then you have Buffalo Thursday, and then Ottawa Saturday. So you have big game. It's coming for the rest of the week, and we'll be seeing interesting how they're going to deal with that part. If they're going to travel with all the 3 goaltenders again this week, and who's going to be the big game? I think for me the big game is Thursday and Saturday, Buffalo and Ottawa Saturday. So it will be interesting what they're going to take that decision during the week, and we honestly will see what will be their decision.
They're in a situation, coach, all the time. Like, you have to play your best goalies in order to try to ensure a victory. And Fowler, you can't blame him for anything that's any of the losses to date. I think he's played solidly, especially as a as a rookie. I think he's brought some stability and some calmness to the team as well, and the way he plays. Montebo has been, relatively good since he's returned. You can also see it in his body language, right? He's been much more confident. I haven't seen as many rebounds, and I was one of the biggest critics earlier on in the year, not because I don't like him, but because of the things I was seeing that were wrong in his game. I was one of the biggest critics of Monty, right? But he's shown in the last 2 or 3 games he seems to be in a slightly better mindset. And Dobesh, like Dobesh has been, he's still their most uh, not experienced, but he's the most reliable. I think he plays a good game. Is there internal problems? I don't know, Coach. I'm not 100% certain that that's the case. To be honest with you, I just think that they have a good problem on their hands, and they have to come together for a solution for this, which I'm sure that Hughes will.
Definitely about that. We're going to follow up with that point. We're going to go add news, guys, for the Montreal Canadiens. We're going to get there. We're going to wait for Mr. Nartap, Mr. Luciano, if he show up. But until then, let's go back there. Here we go. Until he's not there, we're going to get that. We're going to remove him on that one because he's not here yet. But we'll see. Montreal Canadiens, before the news, Mr. Tap, we're going to talk about what happening with the Montreal, and then we're going to talk about injuries update. I do have this right here. Let me check something here. Where's on my next graphic about that? So we're going to get the next one. On Montreal this week, I have a 2-1-0. They beat Florida Panthers, Calgary, and they lose against Detroit. It was a good week overall for Montreal Canadiens. And usually we do all the by game or the last game, everything like that. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, and we talk already about the game. So I make 6 players, Mr. Top, have a good week, I believe. Montembeault, Dobson, Jekai. Then we have TC, Kapanen, Hudson. Now, you can tell me other players. That's okay. That's the big deal. I just try to pick it up what I see during the week, everything like that. And maybe have some comments about those players because I believe they bring a lot of great things about that.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree, Coach. I would agree also that you could add a couple of other players that had a good 3 or 4 games lately. I think the defense is sort of solidified a little bit, and as we said before, like as Hudson goes, the team goes, and he's really the engine that drives this whole thing. And we saw that yesterday. Detroit came in, and part of their game plan was to really slow him down, don't allow him a lot of ice space. He was rubbed out many times along the boards, nothing up the middle, and he wasn't generating anything, and as a result, it stagnated the entire offense in my eyes. Tessier, yeah, definitely, 3 very good games out of him. I thought yesterday, again, they took him out of the equation because, like I mentioned, with the neutral zone trap, it really takes some of your skilled players in the transition game out of the equation. So you saw that entire second line and even parts of the first line that just were not as effective because they weren't allowed to play their game. We talked about, Kapanen, great rookie scoring pace that he's at, and I think that he's the real deal for Montreal. Whether he plays, second or third line center at some point remains to be seen, depending on how the team changes along the way. And we'll get into Jack Eye, of course, because where I've always stood with Jack Eye. I always thought that there's a place and time for him on this team, and the development for him has been rocky, to say the least. But he's making the effort, and he's been playing extremely well. And this is exactly what we want to see out of Jack Eye, right? Stay to your game. I think if you notice, coach, his lateral skating has improved quite a bit, which allows him to really get to the puck a lot quicker, and his stride seems to be much smoother now. And he's making, I think, good passes, first passes out of the zone. His hitting has improved quite a bit. Like yesterday, he had 8 hits alone in the game, and I'm really pleased to see where he's at, and he's making it extremely difficult for the team to ever say you're the seventh defenseman tonight and sitting, and that's what you want to see. That kind of motivation.
Absolutely about that for sure. If you look about those kind of 6 player guys, first of all, Lane Hudson. I repeat, I always said Lane Hudson is a catalyzer. He is the one change everything. When he don't have an A game, but he have a B game, he still have a B game better. Many players have a game. Honestly, he's just unbelievable to watch Lane Hudson. I don't know how many Red Bull he takes before the game starts, but at the end of the day, he's really the one make a big difference. One Lane Hudson player, his best game, guys, Montreal not going to lose many games. This is who he is. And that, I think for me, this is, every night you can mention him. Like every night. It's rare he have a bad game. He have a bad play sometimes. Like he is not, it's like everybody else. It's not, but at the end of the day, I think he does a really good job. Kapanen is really surprised, 15 goals. The second line yesterday didn't have a great game, honestly, but Kapanen have a really good season so far. And he take advantage of what he have beside him. And he's really smart hockey player. But for me, his best quality is to understand what's going on in front of him. Sometimes I would say the player read the play before, we anticipate the play before happening, right? You know exactly what's going to happening. Is Martin Zouy talk about the computer, right? The brain, but it's for him to consider this a computer. I think the Kapanen is really one of the best for the Montreal Canadiens. It is at 21, 22 years old, responsible like he is. I think he deserves more credit. I think he's going to be an excellent player. And I know you people say, come on, coach, you going to say that. But he reminds me, Mr. Arthur Lekonen.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing.
I'm talking, not the style, like the way they play, but the way they see the game, how they anticipate, how they are responsible, how they understand the game. And, like you said all the time, you play the game in the game, but that's what they do, both of them. And I think this is maybe where we fit all we have at the beginning of the season, and he fit very well. We see it's a short career. It's only 1 year. Remember, Arthur Lekonen, guys, when he saw in Montreal, he scored 18 goals first year.
Yeah.
And then after that, he dropped. But he did not shun his game. He played. And those kind of players like Lekonen, they elevate the game at the big moment. And I really like Kapanen right now. So I just want to mention that. I think PLW would agree with you on that. A2 talk about Hudson is another reason rebuild was so fast. He make everything better. I agree with you about that. I agree all 100% about this A2. TC, he take advantage of what's going on. People are, he's amazing, everything like that. He filled a hole on the Montreal Canadiens right now. And he filled this very well. And congratulations and thank you. But if you think a long term, it's not going to be the one you're looking for. You have to be honest with you, and you have to understand that at the same time. That said, because the show tonight, we're going to go left and right, guys. Do you think Montreal should offer him a contract? If he said yes to me in the chat, or you, Mr. what would be the deal for Alexandre Tessier with a Montreal Canadiens? If you make a contract, or you said, no, I don't give him a contract, I will wait during the summer, and I will go to offer him a contract. What will be the deal about that? So, everybody in the chat, you can give me an answer during time is not up. Let me know.
Yeah, I think the verdict is still out. I agree. We sort of have to pump the brakes a little bit with Texier. Yes, he's had a couple of fantastic games, and I think he brings a lot of skill, a little bit more size to that first line that we were lacking. But he's not a physical player, right? And you saw yesterday playing against a team that is much bigger, and he was nullified from any sort of real action in my eyes. And what do you need going into the playoffs? You need a team that has some edge to them and are going to play a different style of game, because certain players that are just based on skill will not be able to get it done when it comes to the playoffs, because teams really clamp down on that kind of stuff. And so, let's wait and see. Let's let the year play out a little bit, and maybe that'll be a better barometer to see if he has the consistency. At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself also, he's been with a couple of teams over his career and has not stuck. So, there's got to be a reason for that, right?
Good point about all the people. Marlon, welcome back. Mark Elliott, welcome also. People, Ron, welcome also. Very great comment from N26 everything. And I think that's the most people thinking he should wait before they offer him a contract. No urgency to sign him right now. And I think that's the right thing about that. That before Kent won't stop scoring. About that, we'll talk about him. And to say Crosby is not leaving Pittsburgh, neither is Malkin. They'll talk about making sign a new deal to stay in Pittsburgh at least one more year. About that, Detroit was not that bigger. They was faster for the game last night. First, make the playoff and see who we need to keep. Francis, about that. Randy asked you, what do you would do with Montembeault?
Well, right now, like I said, they're trying to see if he can return to his form, and short sample space with the games that he's played so far, but it's encouraging to see. I think that the intent is to hang on to him, but let's just wait that one out, because I think something is in the works for sure with the three goalie system. They're not going to stay here. It's not going to stay a three goalie system the rest of the year. No way.
Yeah, I think they will go one more week, and after that, the Canada's drop a little bit more. I think they will go to get that one, but it'll be interesting what they're going to do about that. So a lot of people checking about different players right there. We're going to talk about this a little bit later, but I appreciate that. Don't forget to click on the like if you don't mind. That'd be good. JK, for me, is on top. I be criticized him a lot, but last night maybe played his best game since he played with the Montreal Canadiens. Like, since he played with Montreal Canadiens. Not last month or last week, last year, but yesterday it was the best game of Albert Jekai. I don't know if you agree with me. I feel like he played better on the right side at the left side. I could be wrong with that part, but I think he felt more comfortable on the right side. It's funny to say that, but it should not be said that, but it is what it is for him. 8-8 yesterday, guys. It destroyed Comfort not one time, but two times behind the net at some point. And Vaughn on the offensive side, join the rush, skate with the puck. Not afraid to make mistake. It was really, really dominate the defenseman on that side for the Montreal Canadiens yesterday. And kudos for the kids. He feel the hot, and he should feel the hot, right? Veleno, Blair, Beck, and many others, and Strawball. And he produced, and he did a very good job, Jakar, yesterday with 8 hits, 14 in the last two games for Mr. Jakar. So congratulations for him. Dobson, another player, I criticized him last month ago.
Amazing.
But to be honest with you, he was maybe the best player, in my opinion, this week for the Montreal Canadiens. I know what TC did. Yeah. I understand that. But what Dobson does on the details of the game, it's unbelievable. Like, it's unbelievable. You don't see it on the score sheet.
On 5-on-5.
On 5-on-5, the kid, that Dobson helped a lot. And I understand how much he get money. I understand that, and how much he should score. He score. But for me, it's not this I'm talking about. I'm talking about the details, the stick at the right place, pick up the puck from the corner, retrieve the puck, and reset the breakout, the first pass on the tape to tape. In all the detail like this, I think Thompson is really impressive about that. Those details are not there. I think Madison have a good week overall, and he came back from an injury. I think he did pretty good. A lot of minutes for him. That's normal. But Thompson did. Montembeau, we know what happened with him. It's 2 games. 2 games net make a career or a season. That said, from what he's coming from, the beginning of the season, I see Montembeau more square, a better to track the puck. It's not perfect, but it was not like all the plays like he was before. He was not fighting with the puck.
Position.
So that's the thing about that one over there. So we have to wait. But again, good to see him recover like that. We have to give credit for that. Kaden Coley was back in the lineup. I think for me, this is good for Kaden Coley, for the Montreal Canadiens. It was not like extraordinary, right? It was not like, wow. Some kind of rusty, maybe a little bit concerned about his injury. He want to be sure he does the right thing. He don't keep this same Friday game. It is, he have a good game, but not a great game. But it's, I think one goalie will be there for the next 3, 4, 5 games that will stabilize the blue line for the Montreal Canadiens, right? If Jacquet stay there, and then you have goalie, Hudson, and Carrier, and all the rest, I think this is a good news for Montreal to get goalie. I don't know how you feel about this game yesterday.
Well, given it was first game back after a long stretch of time that he was injured, I mean, he didn't look out of place at all. And I kind of liked the pairing that they had together with Jack. I thought they worked well off each other. They really imposed themselves, Jack more so. But that'll come with Gouli as well, because he's one of the top players for us in terms of offering some physicality. And I think that's one area that we have to really improve on, is getting some a little bit more physicality in our defensive core, because, like I said, as the games become more and more important, you have to clear the front of the net and give your goalies the opportunity to make that initial save and then clear the puck as quickly as possible. So great game back for Gouli. I thought he was very I don't want to say cautious, because that would imply that he's got a mindset where he's afraid that he might get hurt. But I thought he chipped in at the right time. He wasn't afraid to get into corners and whatnot, but he offered stability to the defensive core, and that's something we needed.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that one over there. A lot of people should wait for Vancouver game for Coley. They should upkeep the chemistry they have going on about that. On this one from PLW, Mark talked about the face-off yesterday against Detroit Red Wings. The Detroit Red Wings are not looking good right now. They have 7, before the game, Montreal, they have 7-2-1, and Montreal was 7-1-2, or they was reverse whatsoever. Both they was going good. The strength for the Detroit Red Wings and Detroit, where they at, that prove one thing in the NHL. It's 2 things. If you want to have a good team, or you have a team perform with consistency, everything like that, in my opinion, you have 2 areas of the game you have to have. First, the special team. You have to get a top 10 power play. If you are the top 8 power play, the chance to be on the top are better, because the special team play a solid difference inside of the game. 1-4 versus 0-4, and then you give a goal on the 3 attempt on PK, you get in trouble. So that's the one area I think the special team play important. Detroit are really good on power play. That said, the goaltending situation. The Detroit Red Wings, where they at right now, is all because of John Gibson. And you look about the best team, where they are, is because you have a goalie make the job in front of the net. And without this, it's impossible. John Gibson, in the last 13 games, I believe, or 15 games, is 11-2-1 or something like that, 2.75 and save percentage of 0.9 and 8. the veteran Gibson gave a chance for Detroit to win game, and that's what you need if you want to be consistency in NHL. I don't know if you agree with me, but I think for me, this is two areas very important. Of course, the defensive system, you have to put the puck in the net, 5-on-5, it can go away. But for me, if you go to the save, don't say steal the game, but you make the save, and you protect your lead, and he make the big save the right time. You have a special team who get one goal there. If you have that, the chance to win the game on the basic consistency with consistency is there. I think this is the key of Detroit right now. And take a note, guys. Yesterday, Detroit have 0 injury. This is what they are. That's it. They don't have a Larkin on the side. They don't have a Raymond on the side. This is who they are. So if they have 1-2 injury, Mr. Antap, they are not going to. The depth is not there too. But this is a good team. No. Play with structure, organize, with pace, fast. And they don't give a lot of mistake, right? They don't give. But Gibson, yesterday, everything was easy for him. Everything was controlling the game, managed the game very well. And Gibson is not the first time I see him. I see him many games with Detroit, and I think this is the key. And the power play, Mr. Top, is excellent. Yes, it was a bit struggling with Montreal. They scored a goal anyway, but the power play of Detroit very excellent. So I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, you bring up some valid points, definitely, Coach. I'm not 100% sold on Detroit, and I'll tell you why. I kind of alluded it to earlier. I think that if you look at the analytics, Detroit gives up a lot of high danger zone opportunities to teams. Now, teams that take advantage of that usually come out on the right side of the ledger. They did a great job yesterday. I thought Maurice Sider was absolutely fantastic for Detroit, and they kept Montreal to the periphery. They, like I said before, they didn't allow anything up the middle, which took away the transition advantage that Montreal would have. And you could see, like, again, go through the entire roster of the Detroit players. There's very few, if any, that are under 6 feet. They're big players, especially on the defense. Yes, they're a bit aging, some of the defenders, the Chariots and so forth, but they still do their job effectively, and they clear the net in front of Gibson. And Gibson's going to be absolutely fantastic for them if you don't take his eyes away. Like, that's the key. You really have to create a lot of chaos and turmoil in front of the net where he has difficulty seeing the puck, and that's how you're going to beat him. If you give him perfect vision to the puck, he's going to be hard to beat on a nightly basis.
You're absolutely about that. I think Sailor plays again, like you said to you, to us. It was really another thing they did very well. Detroit, they don't give a lot of space to Hudson yesterday. Hudson was always someone in his face. So this is another thing they did very good again in Montreal. That said, guys, we're going to move on with injury, give up some update. After that, we're going to do an exercise together. First of all, Mr. Antap, could be that Laine, Anderson, Ever are skating now. Some of them wearing the foot equipment. It was an optional practice this morning. All the 3 goalies was there. Owen Beck, Strobel, Villano, Blair, someone else, and then the 3 goalies, plus the injury I'm talking about. Only New York is not there. Anderson skate a little bit better. He's a day-to-day. Possible Anderson return very soon, maybe next game or this week. Same situation with Dak. And Laine has surprised me. I thought Laine would not be ready until later.
After the Olympics.
Yeah, and we'll see about that. Doc they told everyone we have to take a time with him. We have to wait and see what's going to happen. So the 2 players for me is really soon coming. It's Anderson and Evans. In my opinion, are the 2 soon. So you get, guys, a little bit an update about injury. Montreal does not have a normal practice, right? So we don't have any words from after St. Louis, everything. And Montreal a little bit not hiding, but they don't talk much about the injuries right there. Only time you get an update, guys, usually is some people go to the practice in the morning and they take video and they say, "Hey, he's there," and that's pretty much it. But yeah, nobody from the Montreal Canadiens marketing relation public said, "Hey, by the way, Anderson will be is now going to this." That said, we're going to see about that, but that will
especially
congestion
Anderson.
the center tap. The problem with the Montreal Canadiens, one, everyone is coming back. So what I did for him is on top, we're going to do an exercise for all the people in the chat. And I think it will be fun to see that. By the way, guys, the Blue Jacket and the Mammoth are on overtime for that one. And the Mammoth are at the bottom. For the Mammoth, it will be important. The Blue Jacket are the bottom, Eastern Conference. That's it. So we're going to go there. So what I did, Luciano is not there yet, so I'm going to remove him. Who is in and who is out, guys? So you're going to tell me in the chat. So what I did this way for everyone. And I didn't put not much other name because I want you guys to fill up. I think we are great Coffee Suzuki together. Slafkovsky, Kapanen, Demidov, I think we are done. After that, guys, I put Dano and Evans as the center. But now tell me who's going to be on the right winger for the first line. Who you want to put there if you are the coach, Martin St. Louis? Who's going to be on the third line for the Montreal Canadiens? And who's going to be on your fourth line for the Montreal Canadiens? That said, that will give me also who is going to be out. If you want to send Pleur and Laval, let me know in the chat and sharing with us what you feel about this. So let's see, Mr. Natap, what do you have in front of you? I know I did not prepare you, so it's a little bit on that one snub to put you on the right. Kind of this guy went on the overtime on the power play, I believe. Blue Jacket game-winning goal, I think, is Vorogov scored a goal, and the Blue Jacket snapped their 4 last straight game, 0-3-1 the last 4 game, and with a win last night, they were shut out, but they scored 4-0, I believe, yesterday, and now they bounce back with that one. The Golden Knight take the lead 5-1. The Captain tried to cut back to come back, tie the game. It's now 3-2 again last year. Sorry, Mr. I've tried to give all the update at the same time I'm talking to you. But let me know what you think about this and go from there.
Yeah, it's going to be the biggest question on everybody's mind in terms of how the players fit in and which ones are going to move up or down. Clearly somebody like Newhook and Anderson, Evans will find their way back into the lineup. I think that's a no-brainer. I personally, I don't see Laney coming into the equation. If you look at the first line there, I mean, I think they'll still keep Tessier there for a while and just see how things progress if there's that same consistency, or if not, I mean, I mentioned it before. It wouldn't be a bad idea to throw Anderson there because he gives them a bit of size and he's sort of a player that can dig the puck out for both Caulfield and Suzuki. But I think they're content right for the time being with Tessier there, so that's going to more than likely stay. If that's the case, then somebody like Anderson would move probably down with the Dano line, and you'd have to fill the wings in with probably you'd use. I'd say Kirby, you'd have to put Kirby Doc into there. I think Kirby Doc will be more long term. I don't think he's going to come back right away, but Kirby Doc will probably be on the wing. You could also make that argument, just sort of going back to what we were saying. You could also try Doc back on the first line as the winger for Suzuki, but I think we've kind of been through that experiment in the past. Who else are we missing there? The guy that I think is really in trouble after all of this. I mean, I think guys like Blais will probably not be here. Beck will definitely be going down. On the defensive side, I think you're probably looking at I would go with. I mean, as much as I liked what we saw from Engstrom, I think that they'll probably bring him down to Laval as well. But my biggest concern, coach, is going to be Bolduc. I know you have him there on that third line, but I'm getting a little bit worried because if you look at his play, especially of late, I'm not liking what I'm seeing in many aspects of his game. Right, this guy is, in his last 11 games, he has exactly 1 goal and 0 assists. His time on the ice has been reduced. Um, he has a -3 over those 11 games, which is not good news either. And in those 11 games, he has a total of 11 shots on net. Right, that averages out to 1 shot per game. And for a guy that is supposed to bring a very good shot to the game, we're not seeing it. So he might, in my opinion, I think he might need a little bit of a stint in Laval, just to sort of get his confidence back, kind of like what they did in the past with other players, like when they had Armia and they had Jack-Eye go down, and then they came back and they reacted. They worked on their game and they came back and it helped out quite a bit. So I think we might see that with Bolduc as well. Um, Beck, I agree, will probably be gone. Now, Veleno's really the interesting piece for me here because I think his play has been good. Uh, I'm not going to say it's great, but he's been solid. He's been giving stability to the team. He's been flexible in wherever they've placed him. So I think he might still stay on the squad at that point. He might be your 13th forward and be sort of injected into the lineup whenever, if ever, there's an injury or they want to give somebody a rest. The other and final one that I'll talk about is Gallagher. He's another one that I'm very concerned about. And it hurts me to say it because I mean he's been really, he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he goes out there and gives 100% every single time. He never takes any breaks, but I think the game has really caught up to him. He doesn't have the speed um, to keep up with the game as much as he used to. Whenever he's on, for whatever reasons, I don't know why they're using him on the second power play unit. If you're going to use him on the power play unit, I don't know why they're not throwing him in front of the net, which is where his bread and butter has been for years. He's playing on the offside, on the hash mark. So it baffles my mind, and I think that experiment's got to stop. And Gally might be one of those guys where you have to give a night off here and there just to time manage his play, because even when he comes on the ice, they're not long shifts because his stamina is not what it used to be.
Yeah. Look, people chant, they put this guy there, put this there, everything like that. It's nothing wrong about its fun opportunity right there. But if you put about my lineup here, Mr. Nathan, I'm going to add one more player because he needs to get there right now. And and then we're going to go back the next one after that. But let's see here. And let's see the next thing after that. We know, Mr. Natap, at some point, Neil Hook is coming back. We don't know yet one, but he's going to be back. But Laine also. So we have out Blair, Beck, and Villano. No doubt in my mind about that. And then after that, we have Laine and New Hook. Could be joined the lineup. I don't know. I missed someone. If I miss someone, let me know in the chat. So, I feel for me, Doc could be moving up at some point in the first line until New Hook and Laine return with Montreal again. But the bottom six, if you look about everyone, guys, you have no room anymore for Sammy Blair. You have no room for Owen Beck. You have no room for Joe Villano. Whatever you're thinking, you have no room from them. It's cooked right there. And that said, then after that, you have the player 13 and you have the player 14 to get that one over there. So Montreal can get that lineup, but Blair return Laval if he's not claimed. And then you get also Beck, and then you have also Villano could be claimed, whatever happening there. and that'll give you the 14 player right there. You can modify your line. You can put one guy up, down, but this is what it look like. If you want to bring Budzik and Laval too, but now that gave Lanny in and you hook in and one player on the out of the lineup. But this is pretty good if everybody play, and you can also get Gallagher in and out after a back-to-back game if you have to go there. But believe me, and maybe I could be wrong, Mr. Top here, but I believe me, the people like Martin St. Louis and all the people, it's hard for them to remove a veteran player like Gallagher. It's not easy. So it's not like, oh, we can't do that. It's more deeper about only because he's slow, everything like that, guys. It's a lot of the respect and everything. I understand as the fans, you want better. I understand that. But I think they will hanging there him until something could happen. But at the end of the day, your lineup could be anyone right there. I think I put Gallagher with Dano Misanta because they fit well together. They know they play each other. Gallagher would be better with Dano at Gallagher with Evans at the end. Budzik, Anderson, Evans, I like that. I think Budzik bring physicality. Anderson bring that kind of physicality. You're going to say Blair play, bring that kind of the physicality. I think Budzik is more. He can produce more, I think, opinion. I know he have a very bad slump right now. We want to call it that way, but I think they can go that way on that one. Then you have to put your hook and Liney there, and that's line up. And when you put Liney and your hook on that lineup, guys, who is going to get out? TC. Think about this, top like Budget. Okay, this is going to be crazy, and the next. Couple of weeks.
Right. And again, we don't know what's in store really. Like we're speculating here based on the fact that these are the players we have. These are the ones that are returning that are on the team. But obviously a trade could be in order and that will take care of some of the issues. But I don't know. Right now, like I said, I get the allegiance to Gallagher right now. I feel wholeheartedly for him. But at the end of the day, it's a business, coach. And the job for the coach and the general manager and the team is to win. And what offers you the best opportunity to win? Right now, Bolduc and Gallagher are not doing that. So even if it's temporary or like I said, it's time management with Gallagher, I think it would benefit him and the team more so if he gets that time off. And Bolduc, I think, just a short stint down to Laval would not hurt him. He's still waiver exempt, so there's no issues there with putting him down. Like I said, just get his confidence back because I think he has a lot to offer. And we were seeing it at the beginning of the year when he was scoring, and he's got 10 goals, I believe, on the year. So that's not really horrible, but it's just that it seems like his body language has sort of really been eroded, and he's not doing it anywhere near what his potential can be.
Yeah, great point about that. And after Randy ask you, would you look into the Margipane, who is on the market?
Well, the problem with Mangiapane, I mean, I like his type of play, but the problem is it's yet another small player, right? Somebody that doesn't, and where would you put him in the lineup, right? I know he brings some grit to the game, and he's got a good touch around the net. Kind of reminds me of when Gally was younger and what he could offer, but I don't think it fits into Montreal's plans.
No, you're absolutely about that. I agree with you. Should not be that one because he's not a small players. And coach, on your lineup, the only place to put in your hook is for Gallagher on that one. Yeah, maybe it's right there. I think Budzik could be another one over there. I think I don't think they will send Budzik and Laval. I'll be shocked. They don't want to put him on that way. They maybe have to scratch him. They have, they can get that
But that
direction. And that's
I think
maybe
that
have
would
some
be
injury
worse,
there.
coach. I think that would be worse if they just sat him. I really think it's not something that is. I think it personally. I think it's temporary, right? Like eventually he'll get going again, but I think he just needs to get that confidence back, right? By him sitting, it's not going to help his confidence overall. It's not going to help his mindset. I get it. It's nobody wants to go back down when they've made the team, and that was never the expectation right from the get go when they traded for Bolduc, and they gave up. They gave up a good asset for him. But the thing is, the ceiling for him is very high, and he needs to return to at least the form that they dealt for him. And I think he will do it, but he just needs that time. He needs that time to get the confidence back.
Absolutely about that. Flan would be up before the regular season, and Roger Bouchard. We are stuck with Gallagher for this year. Absolutely. Lanny will have to play before, and it will consider him. And by the way, New Hook is not going to be back at least, I think it was the middle of March. That was the last one, but you never know. Sometimes they beat the date, sometimes they are not beat the date. So, but the pronostic was March for New Hook on that one. So, look, this is not a bad problem. This is a good problem, right? But this is better to have RHP and a Pitlick and other player in front of you at those names over there. But, easy for me. It's Blair, Beck, and Villeneuve go back to Laval. Whatever they lose a player. Not, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But I think after that, Liney and New Hook are going to be the next two players for the Montreal Canadiens. So we have to wait, and this is going to be really interesting, guys. When you look about that picture, everybody, for me, I have one area. It's getting where we don't have. If you look about Caulfield, Suzuki, Kapanen, Demidov, Slafkovsky are looking good. But if you look after that, Gallagher, Dano, Dak, Budzik, Evan, Anderson, Blair, Beck, Villeneuve, Laney, New Hook. For what we have right now, this is who they are, right? And we have nobody to take Missantap, the top 6 winger. We miss a very big piece of the puzzle. That was the show before. It was the subject of the night, guys. It was honestly missing some piece on the puzzle for the Montreal Canadiens. And I want to bring to you now is to say, okay, when you look the lineup, we just show and we talk about Montreal Canadiens is missing definitely a top 6, in my opinion. And right now, they can fill up what they have. But the next 2 years, they will have to figure out something about that. We understand what's coming. Zaroski, Michael Edge, everything. But I don't think so. He's ready. If Montreal Canadiens want to make a step and consider what they are, I think they will have at some point to elevate like they did. I think they did. Noah Thompson fill up a piece of the puzzle with that trade, right? Now they fill apart with Philippe Dano for what they are today. But I don't think so. They will make a big trade to fill up the right winger, at least something open up. We don't expect, but I don't see that right now. I don't see that with trade Jason Robinson and the race on that top. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see that. And I don't see Panarin, New York Rangers going to fill the Montreal a long term, everything like that. I think Montreal Canadiens are going to looking for a top 6 at some point next summer or the next, because they cannot go like this for years if they want to go step forward. I will say to you, I think I'm going to give you some area they need to improve. You have 3 areas, in my opinion. You have the top 6 forward. I don't say center winger. A top 6 forward. They have to find players at the bottom 6, have some grit, have some paper, and they can score. We talk about Blake Coleman this week because Calgary was in town. A prototype of the player like him, it could be another one. I don't say to get him right away, but that's the kind of player like that they can looking about that one. That said, I feel they need to increase the right defenseman again over Alexandre Carrier and to get there. Now they can set David Rebacker, but I don't think so. David Rebacker is ready. If he's ready next year, you can pull up right there. But I think these are three areas of the Montreal Canadiens I feel they need to improve the next 10 months, or at least until the next season, if they want to go forward on the development. Because you can tell me Zarowski at age will fill it, but they're not going to fill this in the next 2 years.
Right away, yeah.
It makes sense. Like they will go on the bottom and they go maybe like Budzuk. Who knows about that? I think for the sake of the Montreal Canadiens to go forward and move forward and to get a little bit more better and better, I think there are three areas that Montreal have to improve. I don't know how you feel about that. Maybe you have some name. Maybe you are right or disagree, but let me know what you think.
Yeah, one thing this management doesn't do, coach, is I don't think they panic. I don't think that they're going to rush into anything that is going to jeopardize what the overall plan is. And yes, the pieces have moved forward a little bit quicker than they anticipated. I think Hughes made that abundantly clear in his last press conference, which is a good sign. But they're some of the biggest mistakes are made at the hockey trade deadline time, and getting even some free agents at the end of the year. You have to be very careful. You have to make sure that what you're getting in return, as you said at the beginning of the show, is a piece that fits the puzzle and is going to be long lasting, right? And I agree. I think they need to get a little bit bigger. They have to have a little bit more sandpaper to their game, especially on the third and fourth line. To have some size on that first line, if you're not going to put Slafkovsky there and keep him on the second line, which is fine. I think he's driving that line right now, but you need somebody up front that is going to create opportunities for the skills of Suzuki and Caulfield especially to really come forth, right? And I think that those are areas that they're concerned with. It would be a great story down the line if Pickard continues in the way he's developing. If he becomes that insurance policy, just in case Reinbacher is not your your top four kind of defenseman for the team, because he's also a right-handed defenseman and he seems to be doing very well offensively, and he seems to bring a bit of an edge to his game as well. So those, you might have the answers within the system, but it takes time to sort of see how the players are developing and whether they're going to fit within the overall picture of what they're trying to achieve, right? Having said that, I do think that I think that they will make some kind of trade, only because the situation that they're currently in, coach, with all the players that they have, is going to predicate that. It's not going to be something big, I don't think, but I think it's something that a big, tough winger that they can add to the bottom six of their lineup.
No, it's a good point about that for sure. This is something at some point we need to figure out. I think Ovidio, someone asked us to make a, the projection, the 27, 28, 27, 28 roster for the Montreal Canadiens. And if you look about back here, guys, let's go back here on the roster for the Montreal Canadiens. This is what they have right now, guys. If you look about 27, 28, it'll be in the next 2 years. You can go 2028 if you want to go there, if you want to. But TFC is not there. It's gone. Gallagher is gone. Dano, interrogation. Doc is gone. Evans, interrogation. Anderson is gone. Bled, Beck, Villano is gone. Liney is gone. You have only New Hook. Right there, going to stay around Montreal Canadiens. So Montreal Canadiens have to fill up with other players. And Laval right now, we have maybe Florent Jacquet and Laval. That's it. At the defense, we have David Rebacker and Adam Ekstrom. That's it. So that's what we got right there in Laval. Yeah, nothing else. It's empty after that. And then you have Marcoles coming, and you have Zarowski in 2 years. That said, maybe they're not going to be ready on be at the bottom. But if you look about Zarowski, Marcoles, that's not fixed. Your grit, your sandpaper, your physicality of the game is only Florent Jacquet could do it if he stays to become better. And the consistency this year is not always is there. So that said, Montreal Canadiens have to figure out some other option at some point. Of course, you cannot trade everybody and you have players. But this is an overview of what it could look like in 2-3 years. And if you want to get there, guys, Anderson was going to be 33 years old at that moment, and maybe 34. Evans is going to be 31 years old at that moment. And you have Dano is going to be, Dano, guys, it will be 35 years old, 34 to 35 years old. Guys, got to go be gone about that. So this are the players. And at the point, at the defenseman, guys, you're going to have maybe Madison is going to have a deal. Carrier will be out. Will be the only one will be out for the Montreal Canadiens. So, look, this is very interesting for the Montreal Canadiens in the next 2-3 years. But who knows what happened? I think if you want to move forward, guys, I think you could be agree with me, Mr. Tap, as the Montreal Canadiens need to trade for the top 6 forward and a bottom 6 forward with what they don't have. And what they don't have, maybe only Florent Jacquet can fix that problem. But I don't see Florent Jacquet to be a third line in the NHL. I see him more like a 4 line in the NHL where it would be good. But I think we need some kind of defenseman, some kind of the grit about that. I think Budzik could be that player, but it's too early to set Budzik. It's too early to they said Budzik will be there, right? A bit like a Mason Marchment I'm talking about. Montreal need to get bigger. When I said bigger, it's not like you need only 6'5", but they need to get speed, size together with those kind of players. But
physicality.
The rest, exactly. So this is what Kent Hughes need to figure out the next 6, 7, 8 months, and to always advance every year with a new players to fill the hole they have. They cannot fix everything in the same year, like 2-3 spot right there. But I think this is what I'm talking. You know, the goaltending solution will be fine. I have no problem with that about. On the defenseman, the only problem for me is Alexandre Carrier. Is it Rebacker or is it someone else? On the forward, a top 6 for me.
And I would say Struble too, Coach. Struble could be an issue as well.
Yeah, but he was not on my top 6. So it's like he was not on my top 6 over there. Some people talk about Robinson in that chat. He's gonna ask for a damn fortune about this one over there. Could be Doc. Luke Tuck, Alex Tuck, whatever you want to call him, he's not going to be with Montreal, of course. If this injury has affected diminish speed, New Hook may be gone too. Pickford coming at the end of this season and time for Laval playoff. Talking about this, Mr. Tap, we're going to move on. People want to know more about what's going on with the Montreal Canadiens. By the way, guys, the Laval Rocket this weekend, they win Friday night and they lose Saturday by the same score, 3-2. Because I'm not on the same graphic with NRTAP and you, Mr. Tap, I'm going to put this right here. I don't know if I get it. I'm going to change this, guys, 1 minute because it was Pickford, H, and Zarowski. About that one, we're going to get there. Will be a little bit messed up. It's not a big deal because I was on the other side. This is what happened there. Well, let's see on the chat. You have any question? Would be a great fit yet. That's right. Would be one. Go Habs, go interesting. How much Fisher do you trade to bring a top 6 forward? Randy is asking you. If you have to have a trade in front of you and a good player, you know, you can talk about Jason Robinson or any players like a top 6. And consider him and maybe a top 4. What you going to give in return, or what kind of the packaging you're looking for?
Well, that's the beauty of it, right? Like, I think Montreal's getting themselves in a position where their assets are there to deal in such a fashion, right? They could invariably it's going to hurt when you're going to see some of the players go, but if it fills in a position by giving up, let's say, two good prospects that you had hoped for, or a player on the roster and a pick and excellent A prospect to get and fill out, let's say, a 2C position, or a top line winger that fits perfectly with the Suzuki and Caulfield, then that's something you pull the trigger on every time, because you have to, as we were saying before, you have to fill in those spots where your need is at. And how do you do it? You do it from a position of strength, right? And there's certain players that are emerging like that. Like, you look at our prospects there, coach. Like, we've been talking about Pickford all year long and what he's done. That's fantastic. Hage, arguably the best player on Team Canada at the World Juniors, and continues to elevate his game. And Zorowski's been unbelievable as well. I mean, they're going through their own development, and it'll take time. But if you had to trade one of those plus other pieces in order to bring in an area of need today, then you do it. You can't just play the young man's game, because eventually what's going to happen is they're all around the same age. They're all going to, your window's going to come and go, and you haven't made any extension into trying to be a top cup contender. You have to, it's a delicate balance, but you need those elements that will get you there. And that is, you need some size, you need some more scoring, you need a top winger that will complement the other two players that you have, and most importantly, you need a 2C. I think that needs to be addressed.
No, good point about that, for sure. It'll be really interesting what they're going to do. But again, like you said, this is going to be where I believe we talk about the roster construction, right? And they have to figure out that. People talk about Wal Coyd, the left defenseman, 6'3", 220 pounds for him. Look, this year is 48. You have 10 goals and 46 games, 23 points for him. And this is a title player, maybe the Montreal, but I don't think so, guys. The New York Rangers are going to trade him about that.
It's a mess in New York, though.
Yeah, but not at 23 years old. I don't think so. They will make a trade for them. I think New York Rangers are going to trade very soon. Panarin. They would like to trade Zibanejad. Can Lafreniere be that kind of players on that? The Canadian will not, the fans will not like him to get air. The value they have, the best value is honestly Coy, and then for me is really Schneider.
Coach, would you want somebody like Trocheck?
Trocheck, no, because he's a center, and you have already Kapanen there.
That's exactly.
I'm sorry,
but it's a yet another player that brings a different element to the game that we don't have. And
I but he's only 33 years old. He's going to be 32. He's going to turn 33, and he said I have 3 more years after this year at $6 million almost.
Yeah,
so you're going to get here at 34, 35, 36, 37. I don't think is right there to go there on this one. So we'll be ready to say that. Maurice said, welcome, Maurice. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget, please click on like. I look at the hockey market like a real estate business. Your house might have increased tremendously, but if you sell it, buy another house in the same market, you don't get ahead about that. So again, that kind of play, guys, in return for the top 6, you have to sacrifice in return. Asset what they have, and they have a couple. They have the first round pick. They can trade at some point. They have inside the lineup the defenseman. One, I believe, could be a Laval. It could be Adam Ekstrom. It could be a sacrifice. Alex Guerrier, guys, they would like to trade him maybe, but it's not bring you a big value. On the forward, I think Alex Nehuk, it could be one they could maybe looking, the team can looking about that. And you know, everybody would talk about Lane Hudson, Kaden Coley, Caulfield, Slafkovsky, Demida with Kapanen. But it's not going to help in the Montreal Canadiens. They cannot trade for just trade for old. So I think Montreal Canadiens will have to look about the best prospect. And the best prospect they have right now is honestly Zarowski and Michael Edge. It's not guaranteed going to be a good career in the NHL. And we see. Talking about the prospect, Mr. Nortap, everybody talk about Bryce Bickford, the sensational defenseman right now is insane what he's doing right there with the team of the Medicine Hat. First of all, guys, the Medicine Hat are been to the Memorial Cup last year. They lost against London Knight with McKenna, Lindstrom, and with Pickford. That said, Pickford went out. The Medicine Hat a 17 win streak went out. They win the 17, and they don't win 3-2. It's 6, 7, 8 goal, 9 goal, 6, 5. They destroy everybody right now. And Pickford in the last 15 games have 38 points. And that 37 game, I believe, with 38 game now, he has like 32 goals, and he has
45 points or something.
Yeah, so we have like 50, 32 goals, maybe 60 points right now, if my memory is good. But again, he have an amazing, great season. That said, guys, the kid is impressive for what he accomplished. Now he's aged out. So he's turned 20 this season, right? He aged out. He's going to be at the end of the year. He's going to get out. I don't want to be negative about him, but the kid have a really good offensive side of the game. On the defensive side, guy, is a little bit like Justin Barron. So that's what you got with him. You have a great offensive side players, right? Where he's not like Leonard Sender, but he can put a puck in the net. He can score goal. Everything like that. On the defensive side, you got a Justin Barron. So he's soft, and defensive is so-so. So for me, I think he's going to get out at the WHL. He's going to be Laval Rocket. He's going to be a minimum of 2 years with the Laval Rocket before you can figure out if he's going to be good or not to play in NHL or not. That's I feel about him. I could be wrong. But all the defensemen, guys, have a lot of points in WHL or in the CHL. It takes time. So we have to take a little bit longer for him about that.
Defensemen take longer to develop. Absolutely.
But he has an amazing, great season, Mr. Tap. It's just crazy what he accomplished right now. So I don't know if you want to add something.
No, I think you covered it all. I agree. Like he's everything. You're expecting him to sort of slow down a little bit, and he's doing the opposite. He's not only continuing what he's doing, but he's improving on his output. And I've seen him a few times, but I don't think his defensive game is bad. No, not at all. I think it needs a lot more improvement. But I think that that's something that over time it will develop properly.
And if people like Mr. Tab, you just said about this, or we said to you guys, take a time to watching the game again London Night on the Memorial Cup or on the Memorial Cup. And the reason I said that, guys, because the talent is a little bit elevate, is better, right? And when you get a better, you're going to see a bit more. So you can see him, he's struggling a bit more defensive side during the time. During the season right now, it's, at 20 years old versus 16, 17 years old, and you play against a team. I think my point behind that, Mr. Tam, is just you have to wait when it's going to be a better competition. Does it make sense? Like the level will be more. The example of the American colleague. No doubt in my mind, he's going to sign a contract. He already signed with the entry-level contract. Medicine Hat could be a long run, by the way. So I'm not sure if he can play hockey until May, maybe June beginning. If not, he's going to join the Laval Rocket. Meanwhile, Michael Edge played 2 games this weekend. He didn't score anything in the first game. He scored 1 goal, 1 assist during the game yesterday with Michigan. Michael have a great tournament, 15 points, 2 goals, 13 assists. That's maybe the best player for the Team Canada, in my opinion. Then return to Michigan. He's going to finish his career there. And then after that, he's going to get with the Montreal Canadiens an entry-level contract. I don't see Michael Edge with the Montreal Canadiens, but I see Michael Edge with the Laval Rocket at the end of the year. people can talk about the face-off. I will say to you, don't worry about that. Yes, it's a concern, maybe, but not for me. The kid is really good. Remember, guys, maybe you don't know the story about Michael Edge, or maybe you know. At 16 years old, at 15 years old, Michael Edge, he was considered to be a top 10 at the NHL draft already at that young age, right? Michael Edge, the family decided to send him an USAHL, not an OHL. That create a kind of friction. Everything people was upset about that. That said, that summer, his dad passed away after that, and that was a bad a blow for the kids, everything like that. He started the season in the USHL. Bang! Broken shoulder. Missed 7 months and the USHL Michael Edge. He came back, and after that, he's struggling a little bit. After that, he have an amazing, great year in the USHL. But again, because all those things happening to him about his life, everything like that, he dropped for the top 10 to the 21st on the 20, everything like that. So the potential is very high for Michael Edge. We have to understand that. It's how he's going to develop after that, how he's going to be in NHL, everything. For me, right now, the best I can give to him right now, Mr. I see a middle six. That's what I see Michael Edge. So a guy can play on the second line and third line. And if he reach the next level, it could be a second line. If you reach a lower level, I think it could be a third line. I don't say winger or center. I think he's more a center, but he would have to work a little bit more. But this is normal situation for him. I don't want to be negative about him. That's what I said about Michael Edge. I think he'll be a good asset, but I expect him to be with Laval Rocket at the end of the year.
Yeah, he definitely has to go through the proper channel in order to continue his development. But I think you hit on a couple of key points there. The other thing, he's very, very motivated. That's what we saw even at the like. He brings a certain je ne sais quoi to the game, right? Like he's very motivated, not just in terms of his own development, but he's very happy that he was drafted by Montreal, and that goes a long way in setting your mindset in the proper direction. And I think he will reach his ceiling, and we're looking at a player that will excellently complement the second line for Montreal. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah. For sure. Well, Patrick, welcome. I want to add to draft Thomas Calvas, Line Hudson 2.0. It could develop into a nice offensive defenseman. The problem with that part, Patrick, is he's a left defenseman, and Montreal Canadiens are already a ton of left defensemen. You're not going to help in the Montreal Canadiens offensively about Calvas. And I think another is 5'10", 5'11", maybe I could be wrong.
Yeah, he's not big.
So I don't think it would be the greatest one, but what a great tournament he has, Calvas. Definitely, it was very impressive for what he accomplished. Patrick during that time. Nothing wrong with quality middle six. Absolutely right about this. Guy, we're going to finish with Zarowski. Zarowski continued to produce 1 goal, 2 assists the last 2 games on that one. And then we have a kick field goal for the Patriots. 9-3 again, the Chargers and NFL. That said, guys, we have to wait. Zarowski is still 2 years before he come with the Montreal Canadiens, so we have to wait. But he continues to have that kind of record, Demidov season. If he can beat him as the youngest player under 20 years old, have the most points in 1 season, and we have to see. But Zarowski, guys, is another middle six. Yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. I could be wrong here. If I have a choice between Michael Edge and Zarowski, I go with Zarowski.
Yeah, it's slightly different type of player. Yeah, I haven't seen as much of Zarowski as I have Page, so I don't want to comment on it too much. But I could see your point there. I like the fact that Hage is, really coming along the way we anticipated he would. And like I said, he's got the proper mindset, and we saw at the juniors just exactly what he has to offer. I know that that's only a snapshot of everything, but if you look at his body of work, it's been consistent, and that's what you want to see in development.
Yeah, definitely about that. Again, this is for me. We'll see what we're going to get there for sure. So that we're going to go to the clash before we release you
Clash.
at the next couple of minutes, if you don't mind.
That's
by the way,
great.
guys, it's not this, but this week, Montreal Canadiens, I will give you one thing here. It's Vancouver, then is Washington, then is Buffalo, and then is the Ottawa. So we're going to get back the next couple of minutes, guys. Before we do the clash, I just want to remind you, everybody, don't go nowhere. We're going to remove Mr. Le channel. He was everywhere, but not there right now. Anyway, you're going to be beside Mr. Top. All about Montreal Canadiens tonight. And we see with the chat we're going to go. Francis, should the top three Montreal be Slafkovsky, Suzuki, and Demidov?
That's always a possibility, but I like what I'm seeing in terms of the maturity that we're seeing in Slafkovsky, and he's really driving that second line nicely right now. I like that he has that flexibility. He can go on the first line and be productive, and he can be the driver on the second line as well. So I would right now I'd keep him on the second line just because it gives you secondary scoring, and that's what we need.
You're right about that. So we're going to see what happening. A couple of people in the chat. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget, please click on like. I would have an embarrassment of the rich, like the Habs, an empty farm, like the leave. At this moment, sneaky top week. They need to start on time, especially again the Buffalo. About that, Montreal Canadiens, Mr. Top, get 94.5 points.
That's a good number. Yeah, I think when I had my prediction, I had him exactly at 94. I'm gonna say you're saying 94.5.
That's game 95.
95. Yeah, I'm gonna say absolutely. I think they'll hit 95.
On that one, Oxfest, welcome in the house. Je ne connais pas les points, les listes bleues de mon jardin. Jardin d'hiver, jardin d'été, jardin de mes amours. Et voilà. Et peut-être une chanson de quelqu'un. Situation, je ne sais pas que passer très bonne fin de semaine. Bonne soirée. Merci beaucoup. Oxfest. By the way, Nick was here at the football game today from Chicago in our top.
Who was?
Remember Nick?
Nick, yes, from Chicago.
Yeah, he was at the football game afternoon.
Oh, yeah, of course. He's happy his Bears won this week.
Yeah. Zeph, welcome in the house, my friend Zeph. Thanks again, Claude Richard. Over 95 points for the Montreal Canadiens. I go with 95 on the dots, Mr. Natat. Boom, right there, 95. That's it, that's all. On that one, I think they're going to get there for that one for sure. Next one, Mr. Natat, we're going to talk about Juraj Slafkovsky. Get 25 goals is 60 points.
Yes, sir. I would agree with that. Absolutely. Remember,
how many goals you think he's going to
get?
His
strength is always the second half of the season, right? And we've embarked on that now. So I definitely anticipate that. I already have a bet with a good friend of mine that he was going to get, and this was a while back, that he was going to get 57 plus points. I think he hit 60, no problem.
There we go. People in the chat, Dobson have 8-year deal at $9.5 million for people on there. I can agree with you on that. That one payable Dobson is better because they get the credit for. Dobson has 100%. Been great, but the deal was really expensive. Where would you the team be without him this season? Good point, Francis. 70 points for Slafkovsky on that one. Yeah, possible. I don't think so. I think Slafkovsky finished with 64 and with 26 goals. But I could be wrong. Yeah. On that one, Claude Richard, go with that. Mr. Top, Ivan Demidov get 72 points.
Mm. What's he at now? I think he's at
34, maybe 32.
I think a little bit higher. No,
We could be wrong.
36. I think he's at 36. Yeah. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say yeah. Slightly over. Slightly over. It's gonna be tough, but I think if that second line stays intact, I think there's a lot of potential there to be tapped on, and Demidov is the key to that. So yeah, he'll get it.
Good point about that. Ça fait le mieux for Patrick. I think he's going to miss it. Between 68 70% of that.
Yeah, I mean he's going to be in and around that area, but I'm going to go.
That'd be good if he can get 20 goals. That would be honest with you. If he can get 20 goals, that would be a good year for Demidov. I would have a good year, but 20 goals, that'd be nice to get 20 goals for him for that one. Yeah, not allowed Austin about that. Ovio 90 to 93 points, under 71 for Demidov. That's a lot for a rookie, Patrick, about that. Yeah, we crunch a little bit more. Mr. On top, Lane Hudson get 82 points, 1 point per game.
Well, he's at 44 right now in 45 games, so he's pretty much at a point per game pace. To say that he's going to hit 82 is not preposterous. I think the rest at the Olympic time will suit him well, because we saw that last year. He was kind of running a little bit out of gas, and then when he had that rest for Four Nations, he came back much stronger. So I will say yes, absolutely, he will get 82 points.
Glad to hear that, Mr. On Tap. I go with 82 too. Makila go with 84, but I agree with you. I think Hudson's going to get 1 point per game, just going to get better and stronger, so I think it will be good. Finally, Mr. On Tap, when you go back with the Canadiens, we talk about 95 points. With 95 points now, and you said absolutely, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that we think Montreal Canadiens, with the number of points you predict, are going to be on the top 3 of the Atlantic Division.
That's a tough one. I don't think so. And I say that because we're starting to see, like, even though they're holding their own, and they're still in third place right now in their division, right behind Detroit and Tampa Bay. We're seeing a push by Boston a little bit. We're seeing Toronto now starting to put the pieces together. Of course, Florida will be around as well. Buffalo has come out of nowhere, but I anticipate that might slow down down the road. I don't think top 3, but I definitely think playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you about that. But that would be close to the third spot, Mr. On Tap.
It'll be close. Yeah.
That'd be close. I don't think we see many points last year in the Atlantic Division. But I don't think this year I see the same thing. Just give you an idea, Mr. On Tap. Let me check, if you don't mind, for last season in NHL. Atlantic Division, we have to go back 1 year. Last season, Mr. On Tap, we had 2 teams at 100. 108 Toronto, 102 Tampa, Florida 98, and Senator 97.
Last year. And 2 years ago, I think we had lower numbers, if I'm not mistaken.
And I don't think it will happen again, Mr. On Tap. I don't think so. Both like the number we talk about this, I'll be surprised. 2 years ago, we had 3 teams at 100 plus and 98 points.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll be very interesting, guys. On that one, Leave are coming. The Bruins are there. Detroit and Sabres also. I'm worried about Buffalo and Toronto. I've been honest, Patrick Water. Yeah, we have worry every game, by the way, if you want to know exactly what's going on. But it is what it is. Mais on tape, Vancouver, Washington, Buffalo, and Ottawa. Prediction of the week. Number of points.
I will go with, let's see here. I'm going to go with 6. 6 points.
6 points for you, Mr. Tap, at this point.
Yeah.
Two things. Who they score if they win, and what will be your 4 goal leads of the week?
Oh, boy. Are any of these back-to-back?
Back-to-back Monday, Tuesday, Vancouver, Washington.
Vancouver, Washington. Okay. So I think we're going to see, going to probably see Dobesh in one of those and Monty in the other one. And then we'll see probably Fowler followed by Montebo. I think
that will go with 4. Who's going to have 2 goals?
Sorry, 2. Montebo.
I'm sorry?
Montebo will play 2 of those games, I think. I think that's the goalie that they're really trying to focus in and see just what direction this whole mess is moving towards. And I use that word mess in parentheses because it's not really a mess. They're just trying to figure out what gives them the best opportunity to win. And they want to see if Montebo can get back to form. That's as simple as that.
We have 3 people now that go here, guys. Kelvin Ator, welcome to the house. So, Tab, we let you go. You 10:30. We respect your time. We want to let you know we wish you a great week. I can see you in the next time. I'm going to see you around, and can wait to see Montreal Canadiens and with you in the chat talking about your team, the Bleu Blanc Rouge. Thanks again to be with us, Mr. Tab. It was a pleasure to work, and now you can talk to Luciano. He make another excuse.
He's scared. He's scared to come on.
I
don't get it.
I'm sure. Now, the last time was the family. Last time was now tonight is the mic. What will be next week?
I have no idea, man. But Coach, you have to tell us. What do you think? How many points this week?
5.
Oh, 5. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. I get Vancouver. I get 1 point against Buffalo and 2 points against Ottawa Senators.
Makes sense. Not bad.
Yeah. I'll be happy about that.
All right.
Thanks so much. I will see you next time.
Pleasure,
Thanks so much, Senator.
Good night, Hockey Nation.
It was Mr. Senator with us tonight, guys. I can wait to see all of you at the Hockey Nation tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, in Montreal play again the Vancouver Canucks. This is the kind of game I'm worried, guys. I know Montreal is good. I know they can win. But I don't want to lose tomorrow night. I'll be pissed. I'll be upset. I'll be angry if they lose tomorrow night. They can lose Washington, but not tomorrow night. So I can't wait to see all of you guys. And thanks to be with our Canadian show. We wish you an amazing, great night. We want to thank Mr. Nartap will be with us tonight. We want to thank all the people in the chat. He click on the likes. Thanks to moderator of the Hockey Nation show. And I can't wait to see you next time. Tomorrow night at 7:30. The game tomorrow night, 7:30, by the way. And we have a super chat, Mr. Kelvin Ator. So we're going to use the super chat that last play of the game on that one. Why not? Kelvin Ator for the goal.
Oh my God!
Thank you. He did it at the Hockey Nation show. Kelvin Ator scored a goal. That Cash fan get an assist on that one. We don't give him enough pass on that one. Patrick Water and the guys tonight are really great. They lose. Vancouver for sure. Patrick, we all agree. PLW, thanks to be with us. Mark Elliott, many of you was with the football and hockey. And the only reason we get there, guys, the only reason we get better, everything, because you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. That's all, guys, for the great show of the Hockey Nation show. I wish you an amazing, great night, a great week. I can wait to see you on the week at any time. And of course, be wild and be Al. Find a way not only to dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the second half, the first half, or what? Someone said 2026. Had an amazing, great night, everybody. I can wait to see you tomorrow night for the Montreal Canadiens, 7:30. Until then, Hockey Nation, the Habs Nation, and all the people and animal, whatever, at the Kingdom, Thailand. I want to tell you one more thing, that we love you, friends. The Canadiens only need TSC to reach the playoff. Here we go. Mr. Favor, welcome in the house. Don't forget, please, to click on like. Good night, M&M. Good night, everybody. Cash friend, thanks so much, my friend. And all the people in the chat. It was a pleasure to have another Red Light show. And I can wait to see you tomorrow night. I appreciate that. Good night, Mark. Thanks so much, my friend. Pierre W. Have a great week also. And over to you. Thanks, Standerman also. RJ Calabo, the news and update tonight. Thanks again to be with us. Have a good night, everybody. See you tomorrow night, 7:30. Don't miss it. I'll be ready. I'll be here tonight, tomorrow, next day, next week, next month. Maybe not from Thailand, but who knows. Good night, Randy. Booyah!